MySpace. They were bigger than Google. Then Rupert Murdoch bought them. In 2005, MySpace was the most visited website on the entire internet. More than Google, more than Yahoo, more than anyone. That same year, Mark Zuckerberg offered to sell Facebook to MySpace for $75 million. MySpace said no. 2 years later, Facebook overtook them. But Facebook didn't kill MySpace. The man who paid $580 million to own it did. And he did it in less than 3 years. MySpace wasn't just a social network. It launched careers. Arctic Monkeys built their fan base on MySpace before any record label knew they existed. The same with Adele. The same with Lily Allen. Calvin Harris. Panic at the Disco. Before Spotify, before YouTube dominated music, MySpace was where artists went to be discovered and where fans went to find them. By 2006, MySpace had overtaken Yahoo Email as the single most visited website in the United States. 115 million users at its peak. In the history of the internet to that point, no platform had grown that fast or that wide. Tom Anderson, the co-founder whose face greeted every new user as their first friend, had built something that nobody had ever built before. A place where the entire culture lived online. But here's what almost no video about MySpace mentions. When Rupert Murdoch paid $580 million for MySpace in July 2005, the founders celebrated. They had built something from nothing and sold it for more than $500 million. What they didn't know, what nobody told them, was that the man who just bought them had no idea what he owned, and he was about to prove it. Let's get there. Rupert Murdoch was 74 years old when he bought MySpace. He ran newspapers. He ran television networks. He understood broadcast media, print advertising, and the economics of traditional content distribution. He did not understand the internet. And more specifically, he did not understand why people used MySpace. They used it to connect, to share music, to build identity, to belong to something. It was personal. It was cultural. It was theirs. The moment Murdoch took over, he saw one thing: 115 million people looking at a screen. To him, that meant one thing: advertising inventory. Here is the decision that killed MySpace. And it wasn't the one everyone talks about. The $75 million Facebook offer was a missed opportunity. But that alone didn't kill MySpace. What killed MySpace was this. Immediately after the acquisition, Murdoch signed a $900 million advertising deal with Google over 3 years. MySpace was contractually obligated to fill its pages with ads, regardless of what it did to the user experience. Think of it this way. Imagine you own the most popular coffee shop in the city. Every wall, every table, every cup covered in advertising. The music playing is whatever the advertisers pay for. The layout is designed to maximize ad views, not comfort. People came for the coffee. They'll leave because of everything else. That's what happened to MySpace. The site that had been clean, personal, and cultural became slow, cluttered, and commercial. Pages took forever to load. Spam accounts multiplied. The experience that had made MySpace addictive became the experience that made people leave. Here's the question nobody asks about MySpace. If the ad deal was so destructive, why didn't Murdoch fix it? The answer: he was distracted. In December 2007, News Corp spent $5.7 billion acquiring Dow Jones, and the Wall Street Journal. Murdoch's attention went to his newspaper empire. MySpace, the most visited website in the world just 2 years earlier, became an afterthought. Engineers left. Product decisions stalled. Facebook was adding features every month. MySpace was adding ads. By 2008, Facebook overtook MySpace in total users. DeWolf and Anderson, the founders who had built it, left in 2009. News Corp brought in new leadership. Nothing worked. In the 12 months to March 2011, MySpace lost 32 million users. Not gradually. 32 million in 12 months. News Corp finally gave up. In 2011, they sold MySpace to Specific Media for $35 million. The same company Murdoch had paid $580 million for 6 years earlier, a loss of $545 million. MySpace was later sold again, this time to Justin Timberlake, who tried to reinvent it as a music platform. It didn't work. Here is the final irony that makes this story unforgettable. In February 2005, Chris DeWolf sat across from a 20-year-old Mark Zuckerberg and turned down $75 million for Facebook. At that moment, MySpace had 20 million users. Facebook had a few 100,000. DeWolf looked at Zuckerberg and saw a college kid with a small website. He was wrong. But here's what nobody says. Even if DeWolf had said yes, even if MySpace had bought Facebook for $75 million, Murdoch would have bought MySpace 5 months later and destroyed that too. The problem wasn't the decision to pass on Facebook. The problem was selling to someone who treated the most human place on the internet like a billboard. MySpace didn't lose to Facebook. MySpace was handed to someone who didn't understand it, and he broke it in 3 years. The lesson isn't about missing an acquisition. It's about this. When you sell something built on trust and culture to someone who only sees the revenue, you don't just lose the company. You lose everything that made it worth anything. What's the worst acquisition you've ever seen destroy something great? Tell me in the comments.